live and then it disappeared because I did go live, but the orientation was wrong for some reason, even though I put the correct orientation on there. But anyways, I'm Mixed Media Girl. Welcome. If you are watching this later on replay, this is a live video. So the whole point is to be able to chit chat with people, answer questions in real time. And it's a lot slower. There's a lot more talking. So if that's not the kind of video you want to watch, please feel free not to. That's totally cool. For everybody else, please say hi in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from. And we're going to get started with a fun project. Also, if you are enjoying this live, feel free to super chat, super sticker. That's a virtual tip jar. If not, that's okay too. Hello again. So I'm pretty excited. Lives 2 weeks in a row on the YouTube. I will be out of town next week in Florida, but I am still going to try to go live anyways in Florida. So I might be able to from the studio that I normally teach my classes in there. I hope. So anyways, hi Julie. So in this in this live video, we're gonna do a vase pour. I have been doing resin vases kind of nonstop. And I realized I have not done an acrylic pour on a vase actually in a while. So let me get this open on my computer, please hold. There we are, so I can see y'all. I want to show you guys something real quick. Hey guys, glad to see you. I'm so glad to be back. And I should start posting regular videos soon. Right now I'm just doing shorts. But Julie, I really, really hope you win this piece because you cannot see how cool it looks through the camera. It's a piece that's in the auction. I just put another layer of resin on it. But what I did, I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to take it off the thingy. Is I did an acrylic pour on a vase, and I wasn't super fond of it. So I went over it with a resin pour. But that right there is the acrylic pour underneath. So it is super layered, and there's so much depth because the resin pour, I made sure that it was very transparent. So there's no blue in this top layer, but you'll see peaks of blue from that bottom layer. And I just think this is like probably one of the prettiest vases I have ever made. So I kind of want to do a few more of these where I do an acrylic pour and then resin over it. And sadly, I did not video that. But again, I hope to do some videos on that. So for now, let us get started. I'm going to get my paint experiments. And I'm going to do this one just on the table, not on my spinner. It's also been a long time since I've just tilted a canvas instead of spinning it out. So we're just going to tilt this one. And I'm going to use some colors that I used earlier because I think they're awesome. So this is a 12 by 12 inch canvas. And dagnit, I left my cup on the other side of the table. Oh, that's okay because I need to adjust the camera anyways. I'm going to put it up a little bit, but also zoom in a little bit. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see that well enough. I've got my cup. And I'm setting up the secondary camera here. I'm not familiar with every single brand of resin, so I can't answer that. But what you can do is you can go to mixedmediagirl.com and you can look at all of the qualities of the resin, which will be listed on there. And then you can compare it to any other resin that you want to compare it to. Like you can compare the qualities. They should both have the qualities listed. There we go. Okay. So like I can tell you that It's intended for artists. It's got 0 VOC, so it's intended to be used indoors. It is has a work time of about 45 minutes. It has maximum UV protection. It is food safe, etc., etc. So it's got a lot of really good qualities. You need to start painting again? I agree. Yeah, I am glad to be back more or less to what I've been doing. Okay, so this is just a 16-ounce plastic cup I'm setting this on top of, and that goes on top of my canvas. And by golly, I need to adjust the camera a little more because it's cut off on the top. But I didn't do anything to prep my vase other than clean it with some isopropyl alcohol. And that's just to get rid of any dust, dirt, etc. And 12 by 12 inch canvas, I already said that. So I think after the camera adjustment, we're ready to go. If only I had some awesome cameraman. Maybe in the future, that can be a thing. Okay. Now these can absolutely be done as clean pours, but I definitely prefer them to be done as dirty pours, which means I'm going to put all of my paint together in one cup. And I'm going to use some greens and blues, basically. So I'm starting with white. Now, even I do this accidentally sometimes. Keep in mind, whatever you put in your cup first is what's going to come out on the vase last. Or is what is going to come out of the cup last, and so what's going to go on the vase. So you don't want to put too much of any one color in the beginning. How is hubby? Good question. Are you referring to Johnny Farrow? If so, we are divorced. So that's that. All right, this one's Aqua Shimmer. It's one of the newer colors. Then I've got some Cosmic Teal, one of my favorites. Some Deep Sea, and hopefully I shook these all well enough. And then I'm going to use this green. It is a phthalo green. It's Blick-Rillic phthalo green, and it's mixed with the Mixed Media Grow pouring medium. So it's a nice deep green that's kind of a little more on the teal side. And I'm going to use a little bit of electric lime. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's not like I announced it particularly. But yeah, we got divorced like 3 years ago. And then I haven't been on YouTube at all for the last year, basically, because of the fires and stuff. So it's been interesting the last few years. All right, I'm going to go back through these colors again. I don't have a lot more Aqua Shimmer, so I'm going to skip that one. And now I'm going to pour in like bigger layers because these don't matter quite as much. And we'll get a really pretty design on the canvas either way. I'm going to put the electric lime right next to the Deep Sea this time. And then this green, a little more white. Okay, should be good here. All right, so I'm going to carefully pour on the top of the vase here. And I like to do this as a tree ring. But really you can pour however you want. I just think this gets A, the best coverage, and B, the best marbled look. But sometimes I do a straight pour, sometimes I just do ribbons. It's really up to you. And then I'm going to put my cup upside down here. Just to drain. Obviously I poured this very unevenly, but that's okay. It's not particularly going to matter. And then we just let this drain for about, usually about 5 to 10 minutes, but on a live here, I might let it go a little bit less, just so we don't have to sit here for quite so long. But now is a fantastic time for questions, by the way. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. I am definitely trying to get back to this, so any support and help It's awesome. It's been a very wild few years. Also, guys, I do have an art auction ending on Facebook in the next 45 minutes if you want to check that out. And I have a special on my page. On my page. I have a special on my website if any of you are interested. So this is something that I extended to my guys on Facebook, but I'm going to extend it to you guys here. You can use the code FB Live through the end of tonight for 10% off everything on my website through tonight. So I'm going to get you guys a link for that real quick while we're sitting here hanging out. And it's not retroactive, can't be combined with anything else, yada, yada, yada. So you can pick up any paint, pouring medium, resin, silicone molds, etc. So, there we go. Hopefully that link works for you guys. Thank you, Reba. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rosebud. And thank you, Linda. Can't wait to see you, hopefully, this coming year. All right, so it'll visibly slow down after a while. And I'm going to rotate this a little bit so that you guys can see both sides and I can see both sides, although I can kind of see it through the camera. There we go. So again, you can let this sit. It's not resin. You don't have a short work time. You can really let it sit for 10, 15 minutes, even if you want to get as much of that paint off. Totally up to you. We're going to let it sit for like maybe another 30 seconds and then we'll take it off. Oh, awesome. Let me know if you need any help with that. And I would always love to see what you make. You can always send me pictures on Facebook or via email. I know some of you guys don't really use Facebook that much, which is understandable. But I'm also reviving my TikTok and my Instagram. So if you're on any of those, make sure you follow me. I'm under Mixed Media Girl on all of them. I think we're good here. So I'm going to gently lift up by the cup. And I'm going to move this off to the side. I have some suction there. And then we just let that drip until it is dry. How did you do the art auction on Facebook? Well, I recommend going to my Facebook page and checking it out, and you'll see it there. That will be your best answer. I do have another channel on YouTube. Some of you may not know. It's called The Business of Art. And in that channel, I have a whole video on doing art auctions on Facebook as well. So you can always check that out. But feel free to copy anything that I do. If you want to do the art auctions the way I do, you can literally copy the wording that I use. I'm totally cool with that. My goal is to see you guys succeed. I want to see you guys winning at everything. So, all right, I'm going to tilt this. Normally I would spin it out. Well, I used to tilt all the time, but I started spinning and I like the spinning. So it's kind of weird to me to tilt sometimes. I like to get the canvas mostly covered before I start running it off the canvas. And that way I make sure I have enough paint to do exactly what I want. And this is the part that I like the best. I'll usually tilt it towards the part I like the best first, because that's going to get the most stretched out as I continue to tilt this. And I really like off center, so guaranteed it's going to be off center, especially since I poured it very off center also. Now, even after you've got your canvas covered, you can keep tilting any way you want to stretch out any part you want. I really like this corner over here, but I also really like that corner over there. I think I'm happy with this. I don't think I want to modify it anymore, but I'm thinking. There's quite a bit of white over here, so I'm kind of tempted to run it back that way just a little bit. Let's do that just a little. So I do really like this other corner. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. And then I use Painter's Pyramids underneath here. And that is going to allow air to get underneath, allow this to dry a lot better. And then you don't have a bunch of paint stuck to the bottom. I'm gonna come around and make sure that I got every single spot on the sides. These holes gonna shake as I step over by the camera. Oh, not bad. I did pretty good. Okay. Awesome. So at this stage, I just leave it be. I let it dry. It takes about a day to dry to the touch. Now that's going to, of course, depend on how much paint you leave on here, plus things like temperature and humidity. In Florida, where it's very humid, I'm not in Florida, by the way, I'm in Los Angeles, California, it can take several days to dry to the touch. So just keep that in mind. I usually wait about a week to seal my vases with resin. I seal all of them with resin. The paintings I typically seal with Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear enamel spray, and that also is generally after about a week. Again, though, I'm in Los Angeles, so it's very hot and humid here. It is, or not, it's very dry here. It is the opposite of humid. So if you are in a more humid area, you probably need to wait a little bit longer. And I know this has been kind of a short video, but that's all I have for today. However, I do have some time for a Q&A if anyone wants to do that. Is anyone interested, or is everybody like, cool, that was fun, peace out? There's not a lot of you guys here right now. Probably going to take a minute to kind of build everything back up. But if you guys do have any questions, I can stick around for the next 10 minutes or so and answer those. Oh, you can keep the humidity. I know, I was super on time today and also did a pretty short project. Sorry about that. Okay. I think everybody's pretty good for now. So, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate all of you guys. I am going to try to go live again next Wednesday night and hopefully for a bit longer. I know, for me being on time. Aw, thank you so much. Appreciate that. The next week after next Wednesday is obviously Christmas, so I probably won't go live on Christmas. But expect over the next few months to be seeing a lot more of me. I have a lot of really awesome videos that I just have to get edited that are ready to go. Okay, here's a question. When I resin, I got several bad places, even with the spinner. Are you using like on a vase? That can happen for a few reasons. One, there could be like oils and stuff from your hands on the vase that can repel it. Some paints also repel the resin. And then there's some resins that are just not great quality also, which you might have that issue with. So I never have that issue with Mixed Media Girl Artist resin or the paints that I use, but I have had that issue other times with other paints that I've used. So you might need to switch something up on there. But make sure, step one, make sure your project is fully cured and fully dry. Step two, make sure it's clean. Try not to handle it with your hands too much. Put gloves on. If you used any silicone in there, you're going to have issues. And step three, just sand and redo if you have to. Live at 4 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays, and that is 7 p.m. Eastern. And I guess you're 2 hours ahead of me in Texas, I believe. So 6 p.m. for you guys. Yeah. All right, guys, again, 10% off through tonight on my website. Here's the link. Code is FB Live. And I have an art auction ending in about 40 minutes on Facebook, so check that out. Let me know if you need help with anything. If you have any questions, you can always message me, email me, etc. And otherwise, I will see you all next time.